We have a quorum, and it's past 6, so the meeting is now open. The voting members are...
Katrina has to be, right?
Oh, Katrina has to be here.
To record.
Well,
We could take notes until she gets here.
she's got the video too.
The video is recording,
The
so we
video's
can
recording.
use it.
Right. Anyway, for the record, the voting members tonight are Rob Lawrence, Bill Kendall, Garrett Stuck, Deborah Chiolfi, and Beverly Shoup. So let's start with the minutes of May 6th. Any comments?
There was only one thing that Katrina was going to do. She was going to get the name of the architect for the church,
Right.
and that's why it's XXX right now, but we'll fill that in when we get the name.
Was there an architect, or was it Buzz Brownlee?
She thought they mentioned an architect, but she's going to track that down.
Okay. Anything else? Okay.
I move we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
With the change to the architect.
Excuse me, with the change in the article,
Okay.
as amended.
Bill seconded it. Okay, let's take a roll call vote. Beverly?
Aye. Deborah Chiolfi, aye.
Garrett Stuck, aye.
William Kendall, aye.
Ron Lawrence, aye.
Passed unanimously.
Approved.
Okay, treasurer's report. So I'll read you the balances. General expense account, $487. WHC revenue account, which I haven't reported for a while, but that's $450 as of the beginning of May. Town farm expense, $195.72. WHC trust fund, $19,483.77. Town farm trust, $8,189.47. Wolf Pit School Trust, $8,150.40. Do you hear a motion?
I move we accept the treasurer's report.
Second.
Take a roll call vote.
Beverly Shook, aye.
Deborah Chiolfi, aye.
Garrett Stuck, aye.
William Kendall, aye.
Ron Lawrence, aye.
Okay, passed unanimously.
I'll take all the attachments.
And I have one there from last month as well.
Great.
Okay. Okay, we're at 6:05 p.m. So we have 1919 Main Road, application for certificate of appropriateness for replacement of wood gutters and fascia. Is there anyone here for 1919 Main Road?
There's a few people over at the annex.
Are there? Okay.
There's a sign there.
Catherine, are you sworn in yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, okay.
Did you send it to the selectmen?
I did.
Did you hear from them? No. Okay. It's probably timing is.
Yeah, and you'll know when you're sworn in. So anyway, we're excited to have you on the commission.
We have a nameplate for you.
Should we reverse the order, maybe, and hear from 1958 Main Road, because I see they're here.
Yeah, we can always go back.
Well, technically, we're on at 6:20
Oh,
for that.
okay.
So,
Long ways away.
Yeah.
yes, so maybe we can,
See what other business we
yeah,
got.
go,
There was something that didn't require a hearing though, right?
That's even later in the agenda.
that's even later, yeah. So, let's go to some of these other items, monitors reports.
Yeah, I can monitor on Barbara Brewer. She came before us to install a, what do you call them, air conditioner?
Air conditioner unit.
And she called me the other day. It's installed. Go inspect it. It looks fine, exactly as she was approved, so that's good.
So you did review it and it's approved?
Yeah,
Great, okay,
she was kind enough to call.
great.
Any other monitors reports?
238 and 240 Main Road. This is the house that is going to have an addition put on the back, and also the small 18th century cape that's being raised and restored in the back. I looked at that last week and it is being raised. It was quite amazing.
What's going on with that?
Hmm?
What's going on? Are they
It's
building
completely gutted.
a foundation underneath, or why is it so high? That's not a foot.
Well,
They're-
they have to raise,
Raise it
it's
before they drop
really
it
raised
back onto
1
the
foot
foundation.
above
They
the,
gotta put a new foundation on.
right.
Is there a timetable for that, or, because the work seems to be very sporadic.
I don't know.
It
I know
was,
we don't care about that, but,
The addition has been removed from the back, so that demolition is done.
right.
And now, I'm assuming they're going to start putting the foundation in for the new addition. And also, the major construction right now is, when I was there, was quite shocked at the equipment and the large steel beams and the whole work, so. Anyway, that's what's being done.
I just have one addition, on Monitor's report for 21 Valentine's Lane. They sent me a photo for the record, so we have that now. We'd already looked at it, but now it's done and I have a photo.
Okay. Okay. Any other monitors reports?
That was it.
Any applications for certificates of non-applicability?
Well, just the one that came in as a certificate of appropriateness, but we're considering it for the elements that are non-applicable. So that's, otherwise, there was nothing else that came in.
Okay. New business?
No,
No?
that wasn't a hand raise.
So, reminder that we have a June 10th meeting with Chris Skelly, a training session that is online, and he'll send us the links. It will be, I think it's 90 minutes, maybe it's an hour. I have to check that.
This is at the
This is,
annex, right?
it's virtual.
It's virtual. You can just log in.
Yeah,
Oh,
Let Jean show you how.
okay.
yeah.
Unless you want to come over to my place and we can log in together and you can just,
She has
No,
great
I
coffee.
can do it, I just don't like that. Okay.
Yeah,
Over COVID, I just was sick of it all.
I know.
right. Other business, so I went over to the town farm today. I met Tony Millen, who's been coordinating the repairs there that were funded by the CPC. And he walked me through it. They put a new fiberglass gutter on the L, and repaired the screen door that was rotting, and done some other things to try to address the water issues that were plaguing the property. And so that's done, and I'm going to hand this off to the CPC to pay the bill.
Do I need a copy of that document for the list of attachments or no?
I don't think, we don't have to approve this, I mean, so
Okay.
I don't think you need this.
Okay.
There is a lot of other work there that has to be done. So we talked a little bit about that, maybe seeking more CPC funding, but there's an outbuilding, there are a couple of outbuildings that need work, there are trees that need to be removed because they're hanging down on roofs and things like that, so it's going to be an ongoing project. And then also, there is something we have to act on for the CPC funding, but that's the Westport Grange, so that's on later in the meeting.
Yep, 6:40.
So we are in the awkward position
Could
of,
I make,
yes,
I'd like to suggest it's not CPC funding, it's CPA funding approved by town meeting. It's CPC recommended.
yes, thank you,
So
thank you,
it's not CPC doesn't make those decisions.
thank you. Right.
We're going to just do it by,
Could I-
Because it doesn't require a public hearing, maybe we could hear the Grange talk to them now, since we've got some time.
Okay,
They aren't here.
Well, they aren't here.
Grange isn't
Well,
here
in that
either.
case, we can't.
Well, on this one, that isn't a public hearing, because it was a problem with it, right?
Yeah, so we could discuss that. So this is 1898 Main Road. Are there representatives here from 18? Okay, good.
Great.
So first of all, I want to apologize. Due to a clerical error, we did not send the notice to the abutters in a timely way so that we could discuss your certificate of appropriateness at this meeting. So what we can do is we can discuss any aspects of your proposal that would qualify for a certificate of non-applicability. And I think there are several. So do you want to describe to us what you're proposing to do?
Yes.
Yeah,
We can
actually,
share.
yeah, if you want to come forward and
That
give
way
us
your
your
voice
name.
gets recorded on the recording.
Yeah, if we can share this.
I'm sorry,
This is
not here
her
often.
proposal, and these are the photos.
And also state your name, of course.
This is,
My name is Diane Raulino, 1898 Main Road. What we're proposing to do is reshingle the east, west, and south sides of the house. The north side is not bad, and we'll just power wash that. So that's really like for like. Any boards, we've had woodpecker issues. We've got a lot of replacing of trim to do, and that will be like as well. I think all we really had left was paint, trim, and door color change, and windows. 3 windows that we wanted to replace due to rot.
And you said those windows are not visible from a public way?
There's a gable in the back of the house. There's
Uh-huh.
2 windows up there, not at all visible from the road.
These two?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
yeah,
I'm looking at a photograph here that has some shingles here.
Oh, that's a color preference
Color preference for?
for the trim and the doors.
Trim and door, okay, so it's not for the it looked like a
Yeah.
shingle. Sorry, okay, great, thanks.
Okay, and is this the third window?
That's the 3rd window on the north side, and you can barely see the street there.
Uh-huh. And I guess I can't see what that window is. Is it 6/6?
Yes,
And you're planning to replace it with another?
6/6, yes.
So this Marvin cut sheet, is this the cut sheet for the windows?
Yeah, that's
and
what
the-
he sent me. It's not exactly what I was looking for, but that's what he sent me, and it is 6/6.
Okay, so these have, how do they have the muntins in the window? Is it?
They do.
They do?
That particular window just doesn't show it, but he assured me that they would.
can I see that?
Yeah, these are just the.
That's my
usual
neighbor's
Marvin.
house, and there's a structure down below that, so you wanted pictures of any other structures on the property as well?
Okay, I thought it was.
Well, you know, this does not include a scale drawing of the window.
No,
What is the name of the window?
It'll be Marvin.
But
I have Marvin there now. It's gonna be a like-for-like window frame.
the question is, what the Marvin has, there's a make and then there's a model, and this is like the model of the window. It has a name, Marvin.
Like Elevate
Elevate,
is one of
right,
their
Elevate, right,
models.
or whatever.
Elevate
You
has
don't
the
know.
These
muntins.
are Marvin windows that you have here?
Those are Marvin windows we have there, yes.
So we don't really know what that window is either.
No.
They're aluminum clad windows?
No, those
These
are all wood.
Wooden windows, okay. Yeah. And they're, how old, those windows?
The windows that you see there are 30 years old.
Yeah, okay. And you plan to replace it with a wood window as well?
The 3 windows only. We're only replacing 3
Oh, I thought there was one that was in view that you were replacing.
on the north side.
So these two
Yeah,
are
that's
on
fine.
the east
Yeah,
gable, so
right,
those
right.
are not visible. But there's this one on the north side. So this is Main Road out here.
Do we have a view of it from the side?
Yeah, a little bit of a
Uh,
peripheral view.
Okay, well, we don't have a view of that window, right? And this would come before us for the next,
I think the window maybe has to come next
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
just that one window, because that is somewhat visible. So we could just take that up as a separate issue. Maybe they could supply you with the actual cut sheet of the window they're gonna be using and a
Okay.
drawing. To show
But you
us?
see, the styles of the Marvin window have changed over the years, and the one that would fit and match up with the other windows would be the Elevate.
Okay. I know that's what he plans on doing, but I kind of
Yeah.
left it up to him, but yes.
There's two major differences. A
Mhm.
very, very heavy-looking window, which is the regular Marvin window.
Mhm.
Then they have a separate window, which is Elevate, and it's wood, but it has a fiberglass face on it, which is very durable and paintable.
Mhm.
So it's a very, very good product.
Right.
So, and also less expensive.
He,
That's good.
I think he told me it was wood clad.
This was wood clad, but that, what he means by clad is aluminum clad.
The
That's other
the
way
aluminum
to-
on the outside of it, right.
So this, what you want to ask him then is to use the Elevate. window,
Elevate,
Which has the
okay.
fiberglass.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
so, right, if you could, at the next meeting, if you could provide us with, details about the model,
Mhm.
and also maybe a picture of this window.
Yeah, I thought I had more than one picture in there of that.
You've got
but-
pictures of the back, quite a
No,
few,
not
and
the
the
back,
front.
but I thought I took one from the street as well, so you could actually see that.
You have
not
this one.
Yeah,
all that
there's-
visible.
There's this one.
Nope,
right?
that's not that.
This one?
Nope,
Oh, okay.
What's this?
that's
Is
my
this
side door.
The side door, okay.
The
And you
storm.
would be repainting that?
No, I have pictures of those as well, that we're replacing those two doors.
Okay, with this, the simulated divider?
Yes, as an inside door.
Okay.
Here, here's from the street, north side. Is that what we're looking for?
Yes.
We need a head-on view of the window.
Okay,
Wait,
I
that's-
can do that.
Yeah, so we can see the details.
It would be
there.
the same as the other two gable windows.
Okay, and that window will match the other?
Yes,
The other windows that are on that side of the house?
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That's this one.
And you have a door, you have a
Yes.
photo of a door then.
That's the wood inside door on the south side.
Okay.
We wish to replace with that red door,
And with these colors?
with those colors.
That's
Either
the
one
door
of
that's
those.
the-
The wood would, the wood doors would be the olive color.
Nice.
And I have either, it's like an almond or cream color that would be the trim of the house.
So that wood door would be replacing that door?
We're replacing that door and the outside storm door. And I have a picture of the almond door.
Is that
That's
door?
the house. Yeah, on the side
This door
there,
back
yes.
there? Yeah.
That door there.
Okay.
So that's the door.
Yeah, this door, I just want to point out that this is a wooden door,
Yes,
and this is most likely a Simpson door.
Okay,
Very, very good door.
okay, great.
And
And nice
also
colors.
right in proportion.
Nice colors.
So when you come next time, you'll be all ready.
okay. So,
Okay,
you-
I brought along, because I knew you were applying for like and trim, I just wanted to show you something you could use.
Okay,
Because it's very difficult. Trim boards today are very difficult because they make trim boards that fall apart, finger jointed trim boards that are made out of pine. People call them pine, they think they're pine, but they're not. They're radiata pine from New Zealand, and they're a plantation wood. And if you put that wood on your house, it rots out right away. So don't do it.
okay, all right,
You have to find out if it's radiata pine. But this is radiata pine that's been treated with a preservative
okay,
inside, pressure treated. So it's not pressure treated lumber, it doesn't have the poisons in it the pressure treated lumber has. It's some other ingredient. And so it has gone into the wood itself, and they guarantee it for 50 years. I don't know what that means,
mhm,
but it's 50 years of whatever. I don't believe it, but, And it comes pre-primed, like you see here. Nice surface, and it's meant to be painted.
okay,
And it has very nice edges on it. You see, this
Okay.
is PVC,
mhm,
which happens to be a plastic, like plumbing pipes,
Uh-huh.
only it's cellular PVC. It has very fine cells in the core. And so that is also very good and very durable, and we do allow it in the district,
Okay,
as opposed to wood trim.
okay.
So,
It requires a certificate of appropriateness, but yes, we do approve it.
yes, as a like for like, yes, we would approve it, yeah.
Okay. So-
Anyway, I just want to mention it so people understand the problem with trim boards. And this is what you would want to use.
Okay, I should write that down,
Yeah, I was just
actually.
gonna say, you need to take some notes. Here's your,
All right, so,
Take these for the attachments.
okay, tree boards.
You would put in your specifications,
For her.
Diane,
let's-
you would put in your specifications AZAC or like quality,
Equivalent.
equivalent.
AZAC, A-Z-A-C,
Yeah.
AZAC, or
Or
equivalent.
this is Claymark or equivalent,
Landmark.
because they make a number of these products.
Okay, good.
And the window is Elevate.
Marvin Elevate.
Yeah.
Elevate, yes, I got that. And I want to take a picture of that window, head on.
Right.
Okay, good.
Now, the trim color, so we don't have jurisdiction over the color of doors. But where exactly is this trim going on the house?
The olive colors will be on the two wood doors, the front,
Okay, so this color is on the doors.
on the doors, the two
Yeah.
wood doors, the
Oh.
barn door and the side door.
Okay,
And then the, if you will, almond or cream color is on all the trim,
so you're gonna paint the trim on the entire house?
yes.
Okay, so the good thing about that Elevate window is that that's fiberglass that can be painted very, very easily.
Good.
And this stuff holds up paint. I mean, wherever you replace a trim board, this will hold the paint very, very well.
Good, okay. We have a lot that needs to be replaced.
Any thoughts about that trim color?
Looks good.
very, yeah.
I'd like it to match the outside door that we're going to replace. You have a door there, it looks like an almond color.
This one?
Yes, that's a tough looking, but it's an almond color, no side lights.
Mhm.
So we'll match the trim with that as well.
Okay, well, that's, that's a change that we would have to approve at the next meeting, but I think we can probably issue a certificate of non-applicability for the shingles,
Okay,
and for those two windows on the east side of the house.
okay.
And anything else? I mean, the door color, again, is, that's something we don't have jurisdiction over.
The trim boards, that's a CNA down here? These
Trim boards, no, the
Replaced as needed?
nature of the trim boards.
Do you want a spec from the contractor on what we're using?
Well, no, that's for you. I mean,
Okay,
we
you're
don't,
just suggesting.
Yeah, it's nice,
Okay.
but I'm just saying, this is just for your information.
Okay, all right.
But the trim boards will be like for like, correct?
Yes, absolutely, no construction changes whatsoever,
I
they're
mean,
just
the
gonna
same
replace.
proportion, the whole works.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think we would like to see a spec for it. I mean,
Okay,
We would look, you can show us the specs, yes.
so it's the specs.
okay.
So if we do a CNA on this meeting tonight, it's on the shingle replacement. It's the 2 out of the 3 windows.
Mhm.
And what about these sashes? I mean, it's all combined with the window, right? So that's, and then we'll wait on the spec for the trim. Is that what you want to do for the next meeting?
They really can't do much unless we get more of a okey dokey.
Yeah,
It's
well,
tough
that's what I mean.
Start with the shingles and then, you have to deal with boards and,
Right,
but that's
yeah.
okay.
I mean, I think we could probably approve the trim boards.
Okay, put that in the CNA.
Did you have a plan for starting this?
Well, he seems pretty anxious to get
Nothing on the
materials.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, let's order
Yeah.
materials, so you
Yeah.
can at least get some things ordered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
And-
seems to have been a concern in the past, so,
Right,
yeah.
So then you're down to one window.
the one window
And then the trim color, which that shouldn't hold you up, right?
Mhm, right.
That'll come at the end.
the other thing I just want to mention, on the Marvin Elevate windows, I believe you could order the window with that color already on the exterior
And
cladding.
it's possible. I know next door had all hers redone. It's very, very, very nice. It happens to be the same contractor, so
Mhm.
hopefully everything will be nice, yeah.
And windows, there are a long lead time, so you
Right.
have to get those ordered.
Right.
Yeah.
He did mention that, and the doors, so.
Well, the doors are fine, right? We don't have a call on the doors? She can order the doors?
The storm door.
These are like for like,
Yeah,
yes.
so the doors are
Yeah,
fine.
okay. It was just the color change, I think, possibly. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
I think good enough, you can get started, and then we'll see you again on July 1st.
July
So do
1st.
we need to approve a CNA then, and then we can do the CA next time?
Yeah, so I guess we should take a vote
Okay.
on CNA for these items.
We don't need to, you guys, between the two of you, can make that decision.
We just decide that, okay, so we're gonna issue a CNA for these items, which I'll issue tomorrow and get it stamped.
Okay, okay.
So you'll have that.
And when is a building permit?
They'll ask
How
you
does
for
that
your,
work?
they'll ask you for your certificate, the building department, they're gonna wanna see the certificate. We'll send it to the building department, so they'll
Okay.
have it,
Mhm.
and you'll be able to at least get your permit for these items that are approved.
Right,
And then in July, we'll hear your application for the things that we couldn't approve tonight.
so then if the contractor or we decide to, we just go to the building department
He should be able to pull
and
the
show
permit.
up and,
Mhm.
okay, good,
Right.
okay.
All right, so I'll work on this.
Okay, we're all set
Thank you.
today? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're past 6:20, so we can, by the way, is there anyone here now from 1919 Main Road? Oh, okay.
I was at the annex.
Oh, okay.
Usually, yeah.
Did each of you get a copy of our package?
You have
But I
copies
have
of
plenty.
Thanks for bringing these.
Thank you.
That's okay.
So,
And you're- sorry, your
Scott
name is
Jones, Scott Jones, 1919 Main Road. And the package indicates that we plan to replace wooden gutters with a fiberglass gutter that has, from a manufacturer that replicates a wooden gutter profile. And then we're anticipating some of the fascia board would be compromised in the removal and reinstallation process, so we want to be able to replace any fascia board with a like dimension, and we're likely going to go with the radiata pine that's been treated.
Now, the gutters will be on the entire house?
Yes.
and they'll be exactly where they are in every way.
Yeah, we've not made any exterior changes to the house, so it's kind of the last thing.
Are you replacing the downspouts?
We're going to try to reuse as many of the downspouts as we can, and if we have to replace something or extend something, we want to go again with a traditional, replicating what's
Around
there.
it.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we plan to repurpose the downspouts.
Are you using copper?
We're not, that's,
There's a picture of a copper downspout.
yeah, I'm not
I
sure
think
that's my
a
house.
propo-
That's
just
the,
the proposed
That's just the,
gutter.
for the
Yeah.
gutter?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
the
it's not for the
downspout.
downspout, okay.
Yeah.
Would they be round downspouts?
They are now.
Okay,
And if we had to replace any, they'd be round and
yeah.
match it.
Matching the gutters?
Yes.
Not- okay.
I gotta tell you, your guys get there about 6:30 in the morning.
Some of them come from New Hampshire.
Do they really?
Wouldn't you like that commute?
Wow.
Wow.
And I'm just
Comments?
curious why you chose the G60 profile?
I don't know. This was put together by our contractor, and that's what they recommended. It's likely because the gutters that are there are really quite petite when you think of the wood and the actual interior, because the wood has to be bolder.
Right.
And so we wanted to go with as petite as we can from a aesthetic standpoint to match what's there. But there's actually, because it's fiberglass, there's more room inside to carry more water. So we didn't want a gigantic gutter. We wanted to be as close as possible to what's there now, but still have better water flow.
This is the same gutter that I had brought a sample in to show the commission. Same manufacturer.
Other comments?
You know, I watched this every day for the past however long since you were here last.
We're
and it
getting
started-
close. We're getting close. The show's almost over.
And everything has looked just spot on, great, everything that you've done so far. So
Yeah, they're very, very good contractors. They have rebuilt our colonial home in Needham, and my son works for the company as well, so they're very responsible.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Can we ask any comments from abutters or members of the audience?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the application as submitted.
Second,
Okay,
Deborah Bishop, aye.
Deborah Chiaffi, aye.
Garrett Stuck, aye.
Kendall, aye.
Rob Lawrence, aye.
Approved unanimously.
Okay, thanks very much.
Well done, thank you.
Okay.
Do you need to sign monitors?
Yes, we need to assign monitors.
I can write to him.
Aren't you to the monitor?
Yeah, we'll monitor. Yeah.
And can you notify our applicant who's disappeared already?
Doesn't he have to sign something?
No.
No,
No, we just have to sign something.
we have to just create the certificate and then put our monitors'
Okay.
names on it, and you have to sign the
I
certificate.
have to sign it, okay. Okay, so monitors,
We will monitor, Bev and Deb.
me too. Okay, good. Okay, 6:20 PM, 1958 Main Road, continuation of hearing for application of certificate of appropriateness for solar panels.
Good evening. I am Patricia Palmer, and I'm joined by Scott Brown, the co-founder of Rooftop Power. I just want to thank you for your time tonight, and I also want to thank those of you who came to the site visit. I was not present, but my husband, who's in Hong Kong, was there and filled me in, and those of you that were there are also aware of what went on. But to recap, the site visit, you were able to review a sample of the actual nondescript matte black panel. Our hope is to relocate one of the skylights that's on the south side to the north side, replacing all the skylights on the roof with like-for-like Velux windows, and I did send that cut sheet over to allow for a contiguous, toothless panel design on the south side of the middle, not the main house. We're also proposing replacing gutters with those suggested for other projects, almost identical to what was submitted just ahead of us by the Fiberglass Gutter Company, improving the downspouts or drain pipes by converting them from the existing rectangular aluminum ones to rounded, historically round, attractive to the district downspouts. And the cut sheets for the gutters and the skylights, I believe, have both been submitted. I think that was what was covered at the site visit, in addition to our original presentation. So once again, I respectfully request approval for this project. And any questions that I might not have addressed.
So what do we have exactly?
Okay, so here's the cut sheets for the gutters are basically the ones we just saw.
Yeah.
Same, the exact same.
Oh, the exact same.
The exact same
Yeah.
cut sheet
Okay.
that we just saw,
And the
except
same
I don't know which,
G60.
if it's G60 that
Oh.
you're choosing, or G90.
I guess it would depend on the
I mean,
existing.
G60 is the one that was checked on the one that you submitted. But I
Okay.
don't know,
So that's
that was
probably-
also the one that was,
Okay,
the
I
other
think
person.
we'll need to confirm which, is that, I think it's just a size, right?
Right.
they're different profiles, as you can
Yeah.
see, they're different shapes.
Okay.
So,
So I think it would just match the existing one that's up there, and I believe it's a wood gutter that's up there now that would get replaced with this fiberglass.
do you have any photos, I mean, you guys saw the site visit, do you have any photos of the existing gutter? That would be useful to have the existing.
I don't know if you
gutter.
have anything from. It's pretty nondescript, to be honest. It's just a wooden, kind of angled, from what I can remember seeing. I don't.
Bear with me,
Okay. Is there anything else while he pulls that up?
And then the skylight, I have the cut sheets here for the skylights. These are Velux.
Yeah, and they're Velux now on the house, so they're like for like.
They have pictures of them. This is just the spec sheet.
And you're
So-
basically moving,
Moving just the one that's on the south side that's in the way of that panel design to the exact same spot, just on the north
on the
side.
north side.
Yeah,
So
which
do-
is where the other skylights
so
exist.
this changes the configuration of the skylights, is that correct? Or no? Or not the skylights, it's
Well, only
No.
one.
the solar panels.
It doesn't change from what we presented to you.
No, it doesn't change.
No.
It just doesn't have the
It-
skylight. in the middle.
If we left the skylight there, you
Right,
would
right,
have a
right,
cutout
yeah,
in the
yeah.
panels.
It's called like toothless or something?
You're right.
Is that- yeah.
So
So
two-
they're trying to get a contiguous.
I-
So just
Panel.
straight.
I felt like I coined that phrase and
Yeah.
everybody's using it now.
Yeah, so
It's
it's,
appropriate.
yeah, it's just a continuous, so it'll match the roof. There won't be any
So
interruption.
these are some of our site survey photos, just showing from the outside. I don't know if this will satisfy what you're looking at, if you can see
Yep.
currently outside the home.
And it looks like a G60.
So it's similar to the G60 one that we just approved? Yes.
Do you need to see, Deborah?
I can see.
Okay.
And so this is, so the first step is to reshingle the roof, right? And so the gutters and all that
Correct.
or fascia board, stuff like that, that'll be done at the same time as the roof. Okay,
And the roof will be black?
Black
the shingles,
asphalt.
Yeah, so it matches as close as possible to the
To the solar
panels.
panel. Mhm.
I just want to say something because this is probably the last chance I have to say anything before more solar goes up in the region. But somebody sent me a link to a show that Walter Cronkite did with John Stobart. Do you know who he is?
Mm-mm.
He's a famous marine artist. He's fabulous. And he was painting on West Park Point, which he loved to come here and paint. It was about 40 years ago. And so I'm feeling very nostalgic tonight because I got to look at the point as it was when I first came here 40 years ago. And he's been in love with it ever since he died last year, just about a year ago. You guys were very kind when we moved in about a year ago, and I talked to Jonathan. He wanted to do the solar, I think before you were unpacked. And I asked him to kindly just wait and see because they would eventually come along with more aesthetic and more affordable solar panels, but of course, the industry has no motivation to do that because they've got gobs of government money. So this is where we are today. From my own perspective, I think you've done it as you know, gracefully and gently as you can do it. I'm not a fan. I'm never going to be a fan. And I do have some misgivings about the shine because I think Shattuck's Gallery has the same solar panels and they do shine in the sun. So I'm just, my fear is that this is the last argument we're going to have, and then it's going to possibly be a sea of shiny black roofs. And I feel like so much has been lost on the point in the last 40 years that our job is to be protective of that. Not just for us, it's not us versus them. It's a cooperation thing because whatever attracted you to the point is what we're trying to preserve. So I'm not going to vote against you, but I just had to say that so that you would know that. Okay.
Thank you for sharing that.
Okay,
And
I'd like to just read something. For over 200 years, this collection of buildings has remained for the most part, as an important reminder of our town's history. The homes have retained their essence of architectural styles: Georgian, colonial, federal, Greek Revival, and Victorian. As a historic district, the buildings have kept their important architectural features: windows, doors, trim, and their roofs. The roofs are equally as important as a design element and one of the most visible components of the district. The roofing materials have transitioned from wood shingles to asphalt shingles, but have maintained a visual continuity. Installing solar panels, a very foreign element, would drastically alter the architectural integrity of the district. We must look at how rare the essence of the point is and how tenuous it can be. Would you like to see solar panels on a house in colonial Williamsburg? The decision to allow solar panels in this district would be one of the most drastic alteration in its 200-year-long history. My recommendation would be to deny this application.
Any comments from the peanut gallery?
Comments from abutters, audience members?
I have one question. For your roofing joists, what's the spacing of your joists in your attic? And what's the weight, any considerations on the weight of the solar panel installation? I know it's a little different because our house is conformed like 69 center. Mine are about 30 inches, I think, from my attic.
I'm going to ask
that.
that.
So there's a weight bearing consideration.
There
Yeah.
was a structural.
There's a structural engineered stamp on the plans, so it has to be looked at to make sure it can support the weight of the panels and snow load. So that has been done, and the engineer has stamped it so that it can support. Typically, it's 24 inches on center. I'm gonna look here at my site survey notes. We have the measurements.
Again, our beams aren't true anything. I mean, they are true something. They're kind of 4 by.
Yeah, so this, it says the roof is stick framed with actual 2.75 inch by 7 inch rafters spaced inconsistently between 18 to 36 inches on center, with most of the rafter space it's 32 inches on center.
So, I can answer that. In our case, we had to have work done inside and also the hurricane clips, and then, so they took that into consideration.
And I have a couple different solar companies that I worked with initially just to spec out and see on our house what would be possible. And one company was going to look at sistering in the existing joists, and one said, oh, it's not a problem. So just for your peace of mind, to make sure that, if you have, it's just better safe than sorry in terms of any installation.
Well, also you don't want it to develop sags,
Exactly.
like
So if you have
the
increased
sand
voice
on the
spacing,
beach.
then you might want to consider.
Noted.
Noted, yeah.
I want to just make a comment responding to Bill's very eloquent reading of his recommendation and Beverly's very passionate commentary about the point. I think the saving grace here is that these solar panels are on the second piece of the house, and they're on the L instead of the very front part of the house. I think it does save a little bit of the integrity of the point and what it looks like in going up and down Main Street. So at least it's set back a bit, and it is a little less in your face with the panels. So I totally get what you're saying, and I appreciate that.
I did go to the site visit, and the house is a very, very fine house that does have an L, I mean, a Greek Revival style house that has an L that goes out the back. Where they're putting a solar panel is highly visible from a public way. I'm just telling you,
No,
this is a major, major decision that you people are making, and it's something you're going to regret.
I think you may be right, and I also have been trying to weigh what really benefit you'll get, you'll save, because there's so much vegetation around the side thing. In the back, there's also what you'll save in money. I mean, I appreciate anybody who buys 200-300-year-old house. You don't do that to save money. They're expensive, they require a lot of upkeep and work and maintenance, so I really appreciate people who come in with the intention of preserving it. Having said that, I'm trying to weigh what you would save, the gain that you would have from putting this up versus the chipping away at the historic nature of this historic district.
Susan?
I was just going to say that you have no say over roofs, and people could come in with a purple metal roof.
And
We've been lucky.
we've been
We've
through
been
that
lucky.
before.
I know, I'm just saying. So if you're really concerned,
The
you
only
should go
thing
to
about,
town meeting.
the only thing about roofs we don't have a say over is the color. That's the only thing we're allowed to exempt ourselves from,
Well,
is the color,
You need-
not the material, not
but
the
you need to
materials
go
or
to-
the structure.
right now, that's the case. You say that's the case, but that has to go to town meeting.
No, it doesn't, because it's in the state law. The
I
town
know.
meeting cannot exempt us from the state law.
I know, but the color is also very important.
It's very important, but yeah, no.
And I've heard commissions talk about the roofs at the point, screaming about them because of the color. So there's been a lot of talk about roofs, and I understand what you're saying too. And the state law also suggests that we should consider solar panels in historic district.
Yeah,
Chapter 40C says that.
yeah,
And it
and we
also,
have.
And we are.
And we
and the
have.
precedent before was it wouldn't be on the main house, it would be on an addition to the house and out of the. This is very visible, that's true, but still,
Thank you.
I think someone in the
Susan?
back wanted.
I feel like I have to say something to you. I don't think you will deeply regret this.
I can't hear you.
I don't think you will deeply regret this. I think that comment is what triggered you wanting to say something. You've thought about it a lot, and it's a changing time. Williamsburg is a museum.
So is the point.
Sturbridge Village is a museum. The Point is not a museum, it's a place where we live. Some of us have lived there for 50 years.
It's a living museum.
It's not a museum. It's an historic district.
Now,
And you will not regret it, and you need to consider people who need to live there. Kind of nice to have some younger people moving in, actually. And changing times. We've had other changes. I can remember when this commission didn't think they would ever approve a metal gutter, ever. Thought about it, you went through a lot of things, you learned from experience, and now we have to worry about energy, the cost of energy. If you want to have an electric car, the difference between having solar power and not is a huge, huge monthly expense. And so I don't think this is something that you're going to regret. And I just wanted to hear that at least someone feels that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
So I'd just like to reiterate some of the things I said last time. I spoke in favor of the proposal, and I think these are not permanent changes to the structures. Who knows what the energy situation will look like in 30 years when the life of these things expires. The buildings are not being changed in a fundamental way. you know, all things being equal, I'd prefer not to have solar panels on houses at the point, but I think we can't resist this. We can't say no to everything, every solar panel at the point. I think we'll end up in court, we'll be shot down by the state, you know, so on. I think this particular proposal satisfies you know, two really important criteria. One is that the solar panels will be essentially the same color as the shingles, and that will minimize the contrast. Also, the solar panels will not be on the main part of the house. And I think, in my opinion, that's the most we can hope for. And I just wanted to share with you this thing that appeared on my doorstep this week. I don't know how many people in the point got this, but this is something completely unsolicited by me, but it's a proposal to put solar panels on my house.
That's some great marketing. I'll have to steal that.
And yeah, there's a picture. There's an aerial picture of my house.
Oh, my.
With solar panels
Wow.
on all three parts of the house.
Oh, wow.
And how many people in the point?
Okay, Garrett, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but no,
It's gonna
this
go
is,
all over the point after this.
well, but
And
it's,
we're gonna be looking at it.
well, but the best we can do, I think, is to control it, to make it as appropriate as possible. We cannot simply deny all solar panels at the point. That's my feeling.
Well, those are not in view from a public way.
Well, I mean, most of the south sides of the houses are in the public way. Other comments?
Again, Garrett, they're gonna be there a long time.
They'll be there a long
I know.
time.
It's gonna be 50 years.
Mhm.
We're gonna have to look at it.
We're not
What
gonna
is the
worry about it.
useful life? Is it 30?
So there's a manufacturer warranty for 25 years. At the end of 25 years, she'll produce 88% of what they do on day one. So it's actually a misconception that at 25 years they're no good. It's going to be performing at 88% of what it does on day one. So there is degradation and system loss over the years. But you can have these panels at his point for 50, 60, 70 years, no problem with the solar. They'll slowly degrade over time. But
See, they'll be there a long time.
Long term, yes.
doing it the right way with a brand new roof, it's going to help protect, like where that solar panels are, she's going to have more longevity on that roof space. Just the wind, the rain, the panels are taking the brunt force of that.
Just don't catch fire. They're nasty fires. They are. Have you ever seen pictures of them?
I've seen photos. Luckily, it's not something we've had to ever experience with any of the installs yet, knock on wood. It's not a very common practice, but there are fire protocols and safety, like, disconnects that we install on the outside of the house per code for that type of situation. Following fire setbacks for venting of the roof, so that's been done. I don't know which one, somebody made the comment about it being, you just did, about it being tasteful. I think that was something that they've tried to do from day one, because I talked to them about putting on the main home. That on the main home is where it's going to get the most sun. It's that, economically that makes the most sense, but they wanted from day one to preserve the look of the home and the character of it, running conduit through the attic. I think there was a lady, is her name Carol? Is there another board member?
Caroline.
Yeah. Caroline, yep. And so I liked a comment she made. She wasn't not for it, but there were certain protocols and certain things that we maybe use them as a model home, because this really is going to be done in a tasteful way. And there's other ways that it could be done that would be a detriment to looking at. I install solar, and there's certain ones where I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't probably do that on my house. But this is a situation where it's actually going to look good. I don't want to throw a monkey wrench, but in the future, there's products coming out. So there's laminate, like you'll see solar panels where it's the American flag, and it's like a vinyl that you can put over it. So people could do some crazy kind of design. If we're worried about shine, that's something I could help. And if it really is just coming right at your window and you're getting a migraine, we'll come out and do some type of a laminate cover. It's not necessary to do, but
No, it won't. And that tree in your neighbors is pretty, umbrella-like for everything. So that's what I wondered, like how much benefit.
Yeah, so I looked that up. I didn't know if you wanted me to answer, if that was rhetorical, but she's going to be saving
It's none of our business.
$100,000 over a 25-year period. She's going from paying 35 cents per kilowatt hour down to 7 cents per kilowatt hour. The levelized cost of her solar. So the savings are, it's all perspective, right? If that's a large number or not. Some people.
I pay 11 cents.
Do you?
Mhm.
That's a good deal.
With clean energy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying with delivery and supply charge, so both of those charges, not just the energy cost. Her whole consumption would be 7 cents. So pretty good savings.
Just a final word. These are structures. They're large. They are projecting from the face of the roof, and they're extremely intrusive visually. How about your neighbor? How about he puts one on his house? You know, that's what we're going. And that's what everyone could face. And we'll be responsible. That's what I'm looking at. There are people who are out there, if we allow solar panels, they're going to attack us for doing it because their neighbor's going to put it right up there where they can see it. That's what we're opening up now.
Well, we always knew this job was a lose-lose job.
Well, yeah, I mean, because
Nobody appreciates it unless your neighbor's doing something, but I think to what Garrett said too, I'm trying to weigh both of and my own feelings. I think it's a matter of fact, and I think we're gonna have to deal with it on a case-by-case basis from now on. And this is not the worst case that we could be dealing with. And they're trying.
they're going to put a lot of pressure on us. You see?
I think the pressure's already there, Bill.
Yeah, pressure's already there.
As long as it's not a green roof, like the Dayglow green roof.
The standing seam metal green roof that
That's your biggest
we
fear,
talked about
Bill.
before.
Howard Johnson, right?
Okay.
Your motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to deny.
Beverly, should I approve? With
No,
a
no,
second.
wait,
Wait,
if he's
wait,
making a
I-
motion to
We
deny,
need a
you have
second.
to say aye or no to his motion.
We have to deny his motion if you want to
Oh,
approve
I'm not
this.
gonna do that, somebody else can do that.
So we would need a second.
No,
but
we
Bill
would
is-
need a
Bill-
second,
Bill-
which we're
Bill-
not getting.
Bill has moved to deny. Is there
I
a
make a
second?
motion to deny.
Mhm.
We need a second.
I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I move we approve.
Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, roll call vote.
Aye.
Say your name.
Beverly should.
Deborah Chialfi, aye.
Garrett Stuck, aye.
William Kendall, no.
Rod Lawrence, aye.
So that's
4
1-1.
votes.
You're approved.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Monitors, don't go anywhere.
Beverly, you live across the street. Do you want to be a monitor?
Not hard.
I will also monitor with you.
Easier
So
decision.
the two of us.
Okay, thank you.
And
So we will
notify
issue a
the
certificate of
monitors when you're about
appropriateness.
to begin work, you notify them if you're making any change from what's been approved tonight, and you notify them when you're completed.
Just give you my cell phone number if you'd like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, your words. The neighbor, she wants to report back.
So the final
I have a long history here.
Sometimes the door is not unlocked.
Very nice. 719 429
Already paid.
6938. You can text her.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Grange. Replacement proposal, replacement of gutters and downspouts at the Grange. And as I understand, we are considering only the gutter on the north side of the building, which was paid for with CPA funds. And since that gutter would be replaced, we have to approve that replacement.
Correct.
So we're considering only the north side of the house.
Building.
I've got pictures of the whole building so you can see the roof.
You brought pictures last time, didn't you?
I don't know. I
No.
sent
No,
pictures.
It didn't show
I wasn't
the
here. I
gutters.
was
Didn't show
sick
the
last
hip
time.
roof.
We only talked about
This now
gutters.
shows the hip roof.
The rest of the building already has aluminum gutters on it. It's sort of a Rube Goldberg, as well as a lot of downspouts headed in every direction.
Yeah.
And Barbara, could you just state your name for the record?
Barbara Smith, I'm president of the Westport Grange.
Thank you.
Barbara, in your proposal, the proposal that the gutter company gave you, they specified the replacement boards for the fascia board to be pine,
It's right here.
and that doesn't say much.
Yeah,
It needs to be specified more
Which
than
one
that.
is it?
yeah, I think we got your recommendation or someone's
Okay.
recommendation here, and I think that's a very good recommendation,
this
that
side.
it be replaced with things that don't have to be redone.
Well, that's it, and here, I just happen to have a sample with me
Oh, wonderful.
of a material that you might suggest.
Well, that's great,
This
yeah,
is pine, but it's been treated.
treated,
Why not AZAC?
okay,
AZAC would be even better.
okay.
Yes. So, if you want to write these
I
names.
I will. ASAC?
AZAC.
I think you sent it in.
PVC, I
Yeah,
said
PVC.
but this is a
Some of the
brand,
PVC.
but you can have equivalent to AZAC.
Bill,
Yeah.
what are the relative costs of these?
It's expensive. Well, it's all expensive when it comes down to it, because they said prime pine, and I'm assuming they were referring to this, but who knows? It has to be specified.
Right.
So, yeah, they're expensive. This is common, this is what's being used today
Mhm.
on just about all houses. This is also being used, and it's got a 50-year warranty, whatever that means. So it's a treated wood, and it's primed.
And the
You
name
have to
again?
paint it. You have to
Mhm,
paint it.
The
mhm.
name again,
Oh, this one is Claymark.
or equivalent?
Okay. Are there any questions?
Okay, but I think the fundamental
May I ask
question is
you a
whether.
Yes,
whether,
pass these down to Rod.
How much of the rotted wood is there?
That is a good question. They have told us that they really won't know until the gutters come off. There's a great deal of rotted wood all over the Grange at the moment. There's a great deal of work to be done.
And the aluminum gutters are going to match the old gutters.
All of the gutters on the
existing
building are
aluminum.
going to be replaced
All of
with
them.
larger gutters that will be angled in a way that we can run downspouts in a way that will draw water away from the building
Right.
instead of having it
Okay.
come back in through the
Because
walls.
it didn't say all of the gutters.
We're talking the north side of the building. is that
Right.
correct?
The only thing that was paid for by the CPA was the
North.
wooden gutter on the north side of the building. And that was done because it was historically accurate.
One thing I'm noticing is that there are two gutters
I did,
on the northeast corner. And would that be replaced by there's two downspouts,
Two
excuse me.
downspouts.
Two downspouts. Would that be replaced by a single downspout?
I'm assuming that it would be. I don't know the exact position of all of the downspouts. I know that they have proposed that all of the gutters will be angled in such a way that they can have one major downspout, I
At each
believe, in the
corner,
back.
at each
And
corner.
at each corner,
Okay.
yeah.
'Cause that-
Right now, we're
that's
just-
my only objection to what's here.
It's ours too, trust me.
I think that was addressed at the last meeting.
Oh, was I?
Yeah, that it was just a mess now.
It is a mess. Yeah.
The quote also specified, well, it didn't specify, it just said a plywood soffit. Again, that should be something that is durable.
Yes,
Just saying plywood is not enough.
that's very helpful information.
The other thing is, when public money is being spent on a project, I would think you would get more than one bid.
We have about 7 at the moment.
Oh,
I sent that one solely because of the difference in price between the fiberglass gutters that were recommended and the gutters that they're proposing, which was $4,000 for that one side of the building. So that's the only reason I sent that.
It's not public money.
Yeah, it's
Right.
not public money.
They're private
It's replacing
organization,
public money,
and
it's
they
replacing
raise
something that
funds.
was paid for
Oh.
with public money.
The only
see.
thing is
They're
the
replacing
CPA for the
something.
one
Right.
One gutter.
gutter.
Got it.
Any other comments?
I
vote we
make
approve.
a motion, what we're approving is that we send notice to the CPC saying that we approve this as historically appropriate.
Do you want to read this into the record? The recommendation?
Yes, I took the liberty of making it the form.
Wait, do we get a second?
Well, we have to first, this is the form
The actual,
of how we would make this recommendation.
okay, very good.
I don't know that I need to read it.
No? Okay.
Yeah,
Wanna
yeah.
just
Th-
use it as
this-
a motion?
This is just a transmittal form that we'll send to the CPC, depending on the outcome of
Okay.
of this. Okay, so there's a motion on the table from Rudd.
I need a second.
I second.
Start us off.
Beverly Ship.
Deborah Chialfi, aye.
Garrett Stuck, aye.
William Kendall, aye.
Rod Lawrence, aye.
We're approved.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Martha, thank you.
So what do we do to process this? I'll have
Next
it
day.
just clear, and then
I think we just, I
Send it.
think we just give it to Betty.
we don't have to have it stamped.
Betty will tell us.
Okay, I'll ask Betty.
Okay, any other business?
You can hand it to me?
I'm going to talk to you about this.
I have a question for the committee
Yes.
regarding paint color approval for houses and recourse for paint color approval for houses. I was out on the water yesterday with my kids that are waiting for our first trip with them. And as they're very good friends of mine, and we've talked about this a little bit, but 1973 Main Road was repainted to a very particular color of bright yellow.
Oh,
And
yes.
from the water, it stands out like a sore thumb. And we already see it on the road. when we
Yeah.
drive past it. And my understanding is that Nils picked the color and had thought it was going to be like for like.
They swore it was like for like.
What's the process? Is there a process?
Right, well,
Or
if you-
as in, I think I might be in a butter of sorts potentially. You know, is there
Yeah.
a chance of saying, you know, this, and I was sort of, I was rather dismissive, I mean, from the road, I said, well, that's kind of unfortunate, but from the water, I have to take it out for a little whaler ride on the river. It is very, very dark.
Yeah, I think we need to tighten up our process, and so I think, you know, when people say like for like, I mean, their idea of what's alike is different from ours, and so, you know, they're different yellows. And so yellow is not like,
But if it's not like for like, we have the authority to come back and say, this is wrong. And you either have to seek a certificate of appropriateness because this is different, or you have to do like for like.
right,
So we do have that authority.
yeah. So that, yeah, that's one issue. I think, I mean,
Well,
Right.
maybe during the
Another-
monitoring process, we could impose that they show us the color when they begin
Yeah.
the painting, so we can observe whether it's
Yeah.
truly like for like,
I
and
think-
then stop them before they paint the whole house, because
I-
that seems a little draconian.
No,
I
we
think
don't
when
do
we-
much
when we-
monitoring of certificate of non-applicability. I mean,
right, and I think we need to tighten up our procedure. So I think, you know, if people are painting their house and they're saying like for like, I think we need to have
Sample.
We need to have a sample, preferably a sample that is held against the house and photographed. And then, you know, that would prevent this sort of thing from
Right, well,
happening.
colors fade too over time, right? So if they're holding like a Sherman-Williams color XYZ against a house that is, you know,
But-
quite
but it-
old.
but it
One
was-
thing I've heard
how
is
do-
that new paints and new paint, so I was also like, well, no, bit over time. But actually it turns out that new paint colors don't have the same fade, they don't fade the same that old paints do,
Okay,
because of the manufacturing process now. You know.
I also don't think this is just a question of the original color faded. It's just
it's a
so
different
in
color,
your face.
yeah, it's a different
Right.
color.
Right.
What, is the question, can we do anything about it now? Or is there a process we could make up? Is this sort of,
I think we make
Water under the
Nils
bridge.
serve on the commission.
You think what?
Like,
Yeah.
She's already agreed to serve, so now we have to
We'll
get her sworn
Nils-
in.
We'll get Nils to serve.
Okay, well, it's a good question also for our training with Chris.
Right. Right.
Could I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm wondering, and we were talking about this issue of a mistake that's in the bylaws for Westport. You all should look into what you do about that. Can you actually just change it because, and say the bylaw was incorrect? It didn't meet state regulations, just change it. And also, you should check with the Mass Historic Commission about that. And the other is this parenthetic stuff that you have in there. It also is not appropriate. So I'm wondering if you could check that out with Mass
You mean
Historic.
the swimming pool thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not appropriate either. So I think there's nothing in the law about that.
Right, but that's not an exclusion either. I mean,
No,
it
but
says,
it's
it says,
interpreted as such.
right, it actually
So
says
you want to be
including.
careful.
Yeah.
It says
about that.
including.
Or do you have to go to town meeting? This is something that you can check.
Right.
You can check the town council
Right,
about that. But
right. Yeah, I mean, in the state law, there's no provision for excluding the nature of roof materials.
the second is that Bill has given a lot of interesting suggestions, and I'm wondering if you could make a list of those suggestions that you add to your guidelines. I know that a lot of other commissions do that, but they'd be really helpful for all of us. Especially like in CPC, when people come in, you know, and they do come to you second, or sometimes first, but mostly second. And we
If at all.
really don't know. So it'd be really good, because then they could look at real prices. We're finding that they're underestimating the costs of historic preservation. We're having people having to come back and get more funding. For example, the Historical Society did that. The town hall's gonna have to do that. So that would really be helpful. What is the proper material that'll last? Because it's important it'll last.
Yeah, we could
So-
do it, even window models. I mean, you've done a lot of research on it, Phil.
Yeah.
And the third thing I was asking is, I'm wondering, we're not hearing anything about 2015 Main Road, and I know that there is stuff going on and it's public information. Is there any possibility that that information could be put on the webpage?
I was going to ask for an update on that.
Pardon me?
I was going to ask for an update on that too, and it should be put on the webpage.
Well, I was just wondering,
So, I'm
those.
sorry, what's going on?
Well, there has been a submission to the court for a trial.
Yeah,
For a jury
and-
trial.
And
Yeah,
it's been,
and-
it's been put on hold, basically.
I think this was subsequent to that.
Subsequent to that?
Yeah. So I'm just saying that all of that is public information,
Mhm.
and I'm asked about it a lot.
Mhm.
And, but it should come from the commission, and you get it from whomever.
Mhm.
And it'd be really great if there was something on the webpage about that. The various documents,
Mhm.
so people know what's going on.
Mhm.
I wonder if we could provide links to documents that are public rather than the documents themselves, because some of these documents are large, and if they're public, we could provide a link, like we do the
Sure,
YouTube
either
link.
way, just so people can get.
So if someone's that interested, they can go and click on the link and read the document, but I don't think we should be responsible for summarizing, because that then
No
leads to
summarizing.
interpretation.
Summarizing, that's
No,
interpretation.
Yeah.
we're not allowed to do that.
No, we
Yeah.
can't,
Just
not a
the
law, not a
documents.
legal matter, it's too dangerous.
And dates.
Yeah.
I have one more thing. Along with Bill's collection of suitable materials for houses, any appetite for keeping a library of resources where homeowners from the Point District can go to learn about either the building types, how they were made, you know, what the sort of the backstories are on these buildings. You know, I think or having the library have a section of the library that's dedicated to historic preservation even. There's a lot of excellent books that I've come across or used from libraries around the country when I was doing random window restoration projects to learn how to restore old windows and how to properly do glazing techniques and things. then I'm, personally, I'm not gonna pay someone to do, I'm not gonna replace my windows, I'm going to repair them. And I wish I had those texts, and I would happily donate them to the commission, if there was a place, and there might be people in the district that also similarly are interested in sort of older building techniques, and older masonry techniques, for instance, for education.
Yeah, I bet there are other historical commissions that have already set up resource pages like that, so, yeah, but if we could track those down.
I think it would be very helpful to have a resource page where, you've approved, you all speak the language of, this Marvin number and that, whatever, but if that information was available to people at the time when they're talking to contractors and before they fill out the paperwork for you, it might make your job a little more efficient, and it would be, I think, really useful information for people to know. They don't have to use materials, but you can say, here's what we've been proving. Here's the kinds of things people have been, and they don't know, because they don't come to the meetings, so they don't really know that. And I think that would be useful. If you start putting links for one particular case that you're involved in, think about that leading you to have to then always do it, so that you're treating everybody the same. Sure. And whether you want to take on adding to your website over time.
Well, you think we get sued every day?
I didn't say that.
Rustle up some volunteers.
You have to think about, how long
We just
you
hit a
do
whole
it.
pass
You take it
of work.
down, don't you? It's just something that you haven't dealt with in the past. So you may decide to do it, but you might want to think forward before you start.
Yeah.
Think of the consequences.
I have some reservations about it too.
Yeah.
It's-
I'd like to know what those reservations are. I mean, information is important, then the false information isn't out there, because there is false information now out there. So I'm just, and I think the future, they should continue doing it if it happens. People should know what's going on.
Well, I think that's true, but do you think that this is their job to
Yes, yes,
provide
because-
it? Or are there other resources that
Because-
provide you for information about what's going on before you?
Because they're part of it. If you can check it with Jim Hartman or someone in the town to see if they disagree. I doubt it, but
Yeah.
they might.
But I mean, it doesn't impose a burden on us to be current, I mean, to update these pages as information comes out. And I mean, you say we're part of it, but in a way, we're not part of it. I mean, we've made our decision.
This is the neighbors' lawyers versus the pool boy.
No, I'm speaking of the town.
Yeah.
The town
Yeah,
versus the
the pool.
2015.
Now, aren't you a party to that lawsuit?
No,
Oh.
She's not a party.
So the neighbors aren't a party to that?
There is a party, but I'm not part of it.
Ah, okay.
I've withdrawn from it.
You've withdrawn from it, okay.
Okay. Well, we'll take your suggestions.
Whatever.
Your advice on it.
some
Any other-
very good suggestions,
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Any other items? If not, do I hear a motion?
I will be stepping off the commission. I've been on here for 8 years. I don't think any, with the exception maybe of Bill, we're not sure, has been on here that long. And it's time, every commission in town needs somebody. So it's time to do something else, plus the fact that all these people that we talk about are my neighbors. And, it's one thing if you live outside the district and you're making these, but it's very hard when you live next door to people. So,
Have you found a
Understood.
successor?
what's that?
Have you found a successor?
And I'll stay on, I mean, and also Ursula, if she comes on, and Caroline, if she comes on, so, and Ward Mooney, I said he would love to. So if I get all those people in place, I will.
That'd be great.
Beverly's been great at recruiting some folks, so
Yeah.
hopefully we'll enlarge the commission soon. But thank you for staying as long as possible.
Yes.
After tonight, I'm not sure that I mean that, but yeah.
It's hard, it is, when your neighbors are before you.
Yeah.
I move we adjourn.
I second.
Okay. Beverly.
Beverly, start us off with a vote.
Beverly shook aye.
Deborah Chialfi,
Bye,
aye.
darling.
Dan Stuck, aye.
I love you. Bye, honey.
Brother Lawrence, aye.
I need need a hug.
Thank you,
We are
everyone.
adjourned.
I need